Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. The Prime Minister, the Sarawak Premier and the Sabah Chief Minister all meet tomorrow to address unresolved issues surrounding MA63. Sarawak para-athletes who win gold medals at the upcoming SUKMA will be awarded 15,000 ringgit each. And in world news, hundreds of Filipinos flee their homes after a volcano spews harmful gases, fearing a potential eruption. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim is scheduled to chair the Malaysia Agreement 1963 Implementation Action Council meeting in Sabah on Thursday. The meeting will also be attended by the Premier Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, and Sabah's Chief Minister Datuk Seri Panglima Haji Noor. The session aims to address and resolve outstanding issues surrounding MA63.
Earlier, Anwar attended a dinner reception with Sabah state government leaders at a hotel in Kota Kinabalu. The event, which began with Anwar's arrival at 7:30 p.m, was also attended by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadillah Yusof and Sabah's Deputy Chief Ministers. The hour-long dinner featured performances by Sabahan artists. Anwar, who arrived in Kota Kinabalu earlier at 7:10 p.m. for his two-day official visit, will visit Felda Sahabat in Lahadatu tomorrow for the Segalanya Felda Carnival. He will then chair the Malaysia Agreement 1963 Implementation Action Council meeting at the Sabah International Convention Centre before departing for Kuala Lumpur later in the evening.
Sarawak's para-athletes who clinch gold medals at the upcoming Parasukan Malaysia Sarawak will be awarded 15,000 ringgit each, the same incentive given to gold medalists from the last month's SUKMA Sarawak Games. Premier Sarawak Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg also announced to the Sarawak para contingent that silver medalists will receive 5,000 ringgit each and bronze medalists will get 3,000 ringgit.
Hari itu Datuk Sri Fatimah 83. Boleh? Gol jangan lupa. Sama kata dengan SUKMA. Sama kata 15,000. Kali dengan 83. Berapa? Lebih sejuta. Lebih sejuta. 10 orang dah 150. Kali dengan 8. Jangan susah Abang Jo ada di belakang.
He said this in his speech during the handing over the state's flag to Sarawak's Parasukma contingent chef de mission, Datuk Muhammad Razi Sitam, at Hikmah Exchange Coaching earlier today. For the record, the Sarawak Parasukma contingent has secured the overall championship at the Parasukma Games 13 times from 1994 to 2018.
In the meantime, Abang Johari highlighted the ongoing efforts to achieve sports excellence in the region. To support this goal, the Premier reaffirmed that Sarawak government's commitment to enhancing the training of Sarawak's para-athletes by sending them abroad, recognizing their potential and value of international exposure.
Saya memanglah berusaha dengan rakan-rakan saya kali ini untuk memberikan latihan yang cukup kepada atlet para SUKMA kita. Walaupun menghantar di South Africa pun kita hantar. Kerana kita anggap bahawa potensi atlet kita memang sudah ada.
Meanwhile, the Sarawak Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah, announced that 4 assistant chef missions have been appointed to ensure Sarawak's para-athletes receive optimal support before the Para-SUKMA Games.
Selain melalui latihan, atlet-atlet, para kita telah diberi pendedahan. Ini cara kita untuk memberi mereka pendedahan, iaitu dengan menyertai sekit kebangsaan dan juga di luar negara. 4 orang SCDM telah dilantik bagi memastikan atlet-atlet para Sarawak mendapat sokongan dan dorongan yang konsisten sebelum dan semasa tamasya para SUKMA 21 Sarawak 2024.
The aforementioned international exposure includes competitions in Xiamen and Fuzhou, China, parasports, Hat Yai, Thailand for paraswimming, Solo, Indonesia for para-badminton, as well as in other countries such as South Africa, Taiwan and Thailand.
Sarawak Governor Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar received 2 courtesy calls at the Astana Negeri earlier today. The visits included a delegation from Singapore's Ministry of Manpower and the Second Minister for Trade and Industry led by Dr. Tan See Lang. Dr. Tan said that the purpose of the call was to strengthen relations between Singapore and Sarawak, particularly in the area of renewable energy.
During the 1-hour meeting, they discussed various issues, especially on cooperation in industrial transformation and energy transition.
And I learned a lot from him this morning. And looking forward, we are really looking forward at the opportunity to increase the collaborations, the synergistic relationships between Singapore and Sarawak. So whether it is in the form of renewable energy imports, we are also looking to see how we can increase the connectivity, including trade, and also to see what other business collaborations we can do as well. So it was a very, very good, productive meeting. So I'm looking forward to meeting my counterparts later on. And then I'm also going to meet up with Premier later today. So I'm looking forward to all those meetings.
Sarawak and Singapore are trading partners through areas of industrial transformation, energy transition, industrial decarbonization, carbon capture, utilization and storage, CCUS. This includes the development and management of industrial parks aimed at building low-carbon industries in Sarawak. At the same time, Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi also received a courtesy visit from the federal department heads and agencies in the security sector in Sarawak. Sarawak Federal Secretary Dato' Ahmad Nazri Muhammad Hassan said that the purpose of the visit was to introduce the leadership of the federal departments and agencies serving in the state.
Selain memperkenalkan barisan kepimpinan dari jabatan-jabatan dan agensi-agensi persekutuan yang berkhidmat di Sarawak, besarlah harapan kami agar dengan adanya sesi kunjungan hormat sebegini dapat memperkuat lagi hubungan antara kerajaan persekutuan dengan kerajaan Sarawak di bawah naungan Tuan Yang Terutama Tun.
A total of 162 departments and agencies, including federal statutory bodies, operate in the security sector in Sarawak. In the meantime, this October, 2 more courtesy visits will be conducted involving the development and economic sectors, as well as the education and social sectors.
Singapore is keen to strengthen partnership with Sarawak across various sectors, particularly in green energy. Singapore's Minister of Manpower and Second Minister for Trade and Industry, Dr. Tan See Lang, stated that due to Sarawak's strategic location and rich natural resources, Sarawak has vast potential in the renewable energy sector.
I think it's one of those agenda items that we'll be looking to discuss. And of course to see how in terms of tourism and also trade between both our countries, between Sarawak and Singapore, how we can increase that level of collaboration.
He told this to reporters after paying a courtesy visit to the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Upeng, on Wednesday. At the same time, he expressed hope that bilateral trade, tourism connectivity, and renewable energy import cooperation between Singapore and Sarawak would continue to grow.
The Smart City Committee, which was formed recently, acts as a collaborative platform for all agencies in implementing smart city initiatives in this region. Deputy Premier Sarawak, Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian, stated that the committee is a testament to the Sarawak government's commitment to developing future smart cities.
So the Smart City Committee is a platform for all the agencies who cannot get together, pick up their brains and how to, so that we can be seamlessly together. We also, the journey is never going to be easy, because why? This journey, I'm not sure easier or harder.
Dr. Sim, who is also the Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, added that the committee will also address issues in the implementation of smart city initiatives, help manage resources more efficiently, attract new investments, and create job opportunities. The Smart City Committee was formed comprising the leadership of the Sarawak Economic Planning Unit with membership of various ministries and local authorities.
The inaugural Petronas Youth Football Closed Tournament 2024 will be held in Kuching from September 14 to November 16, 2024. Minister of Youth, Sports and Entrepreneur Development Sarawak, Dato' Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said that the championship aims to inculcate positive values among youth, in addition to unearthing new sporting talents.
According to Karim, the Sarawak government welcomes private-public partnership in sports development and noted that the tournament demonstrates Petronas' commitment to advancing the sports segment in the region.
It's the first step in a commitment to nurturing and showcasing young talents within a structured environment, and it sets a stage for future full-scale tournament. It also acts as a catalyst to attract interest and participation from other corporate entities, thereby enhancing the event's success and professionalism.
The by invitation-only event will see the participation of over 56 teams from 23 football academies and schools from around Kuching, Samarahan and Sri Aman. The teams will compete in 4 age categories, namely under 10, under 12, under 14 and under 16. The event is also supported by the Kuching District Football Association KDFA, Kuching City FC KCFC, the Sarawak Sports Corporation SSC, and official media partner TVS.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim has ordered a report on halal certification issues to be presented at the Cabinet meeting next week. Minister of Communications Fahmi Fadzil said that the Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Religious Affairs, Dato' Muhammad Naim Mokhtar, had been asked to prepare the report and assess the next course of action.
Perdana Menteri telah minta Menteri Agama untuk menyediakan laporan serta langkah seterusnya untuk dibentang dalam mesyuarat Jabatan Menteri minggu depan.
On September 6, Muhammad Naim was reported as saying that the Department of Islamic Development in Malaysia, JAKIM, is considering a proposal to make halal certification mandatory for restaurants and food companies that do not serve pork and alcohol. This issue sparked controversy when Seputeh MP Teresa Kok argued that the implementation of halal certification should be voluntary, allowing businesses to make decisions based on market demand rather than being mandated.
The state government is advised to strengthen 3 key areas before assuming autonomy in education and health. According to Sarawak historian Dr. Loji Saibi, the 3 areas include strengthening the region's financial position, ensuring sufficient skilled talents, and having complete and proper infrastructure.
Sekadar kita perlu mengambil kira jugalah. Sebab kedua-dua perkara ini adalah yang agak besar. Kalau Sarawak belum bersedia lagi, jadi agak sukar untuk mengambil alih peranan dalam dua perkara itu. Sebab education tu di mana-mana pun memang dia sangat besar. Begitu juga health, kesihatan. Dan itu dari segi peruntukan lah, memang memakan belanja yang besar.
He explained that these 3 fundamental areas are interconnected and crucial to ensuring that the autonomy granted to Sarawak provides optimal benefits to the people.
Kalau nak sekolah, malahan sekolah yang ada sekarang bukan seperti yang kita mahu. Meskipun kerajaan negeri mungkin dia ada peruntukan. Tapi adakah peruntukan itu hanya untuk yang ini saja ataupun yang lain lagi?
At the same time, he recommended that the Sarawak government manages the education and health systems as outlined in the Malaysia Agreement 1963 or MA63.
The United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, this November will zero in on climate finance. Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability Minister Nik Ahmad said Malaysia will ensure that the commitment of developed countries in addressing climate finance issues is given due attention and implemented effectively. As he said, the issue did not receive the attention it deserved.
Prioriti dia pada tahun ini banyak isu berkisar tentang soal kewangan ataupun climate finance. Jadi kita akan tumpukan untuk memastikan komitmen yang dibuat oleh negara-negara maju selama ini akan perlu diberi perhatian sebab banyak komitmen yang telah dibuat tetapi belum dilaksanakan. Tapi pada masa yang sama kita nak lihat bagaimana kita dapat menggembleng pelbagai sumber kewangan kerajaan dan juga swasta untuk menjayakan objektif kita untuk mencapai sifar bersih lah. Jadi itu antara perkara yang kita akan usahakan. Tapi ada juga perkara-perkara lain berkaitan dengan biodiversity, lautan, tenaga, itu biasalah akan dibincangkan dalam COP. Tetapi this will be known as the finance COP untuk 2024.
According to Nik Nazmi, at the previous COP Paris, Malaysia emphasized the need to translate international commitments into clearer policies and implementation. He also acknowledged that previously, climate policies were quite broad and lacked specific legislation. Therefore, with the Climate Change Act, Malaysia can now more effectively enforce its net zero targets. At next year's COP conference in Brazil, Malaysia plans to align its agenda with other developing and tropical countries while placing greater emphasis on the nation's biodiversity.
Malaysians travelling to or transiting through the United Kingdom will be required to have an Electronic Travel Authorisation (ETA) starting January 8, 2025. The British High Commission in Kuala Lumpur announced that the ETA will be mandatory for all foreign visitors, including children who do not currently need a visa or short stays.
The ETA requirement, which is not a UK visa but a digital permission to travel to the United Kingdom, will also include those who do not already have UK immigration status. According to the British High Commission, this move will contribute towards delivering a more streamlined digital immigration system, which will be quicker and more secure for the millions of people who pass through the UK border each year. Each ETA will cost €10 or 56 ringgit 64 cents and permits multiple journeys to United Kingdom for stays of up to 6 months at a time, over 2 years or until the holder's passport expires. Malaysians can begin applying in advance from November 27, 2024 onwards, either through the UK ETA app or through the UK government's website at www.gov.uk/guidance/apply for an electronic travel authorization ETA. The High Commission also noted that ETA applications would be managed by the UK Visas and Immigration Department and not by the High Commission itself.
On to world news. U.S. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris joined former President Donald Trump on Wednesday to mark the 23rd anniversary of the September 11 attacks at Ground Zero in New York City, where nearly 3,000 people lost their lives. The solemn event took place at the site where hijacked planes brought down the World Trade Center's Twin Towers. It began at 8:30 a.m. local time, with family members reading the names of the victims. At 9:37 a.m., a moment of silence was observed to mark the moment when American airline Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon on September 11, 2001. The 9/11 attacks remain a pivotal event for Americans, having reshaped U.S. foreign policy, domestic security, and the mindset of many Americans. Hundreds of people fled their homes in the Philippines on Wednesday after a volcano spurted harmful gases, an official said, as experts warn of a potential eruption. The local government of a nearby Canlaon city said about 300 residents of villages within 4 kilometers of the Canlaon volcano crater in the center of the country were evacuated on Tuesday as a precaution.
The evacuees have taken temporary shelter at schools and community centers away from the volcano. Classes were suspended and some tourist spots in the city of around 60,000 people were closed on Wednesday due to the volcano warning. Villagers near the foot of the volcano have been complaining about the strong smell of sulfur. Canlaon's daily average emission of sulfur dioxide almost tripled to 9,985 tons on Tuesday, the highest emission recorded since instrumental gas monitoring began. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology said the current activity may lead to eruptive unrest, putting residents of the 4 villages at risk from red-hot, swiftly moving ash clouds, ballistic projectiles, rockfalls, and others. rising more than 2,400 meters above sea level on the central island of the Cross Kalaon, is one of the 24 active volcanoes in the Philippines. It has erupted 15 times in the past 9 years. The State Volcanology Agency raised the alert level for the volcano in June from 1 to 2 on a 0 to 5 scale, warning more explosive eruptions were possible. The Philippines is located in the seismically active Pacific Ring of Fire, which contains more than half the world's volcanoes.
France will have a new government next week. That is according to recently installed Conservative Prime Minister Michel Barnier on Wednesday, as he sounded out candidates to run ministries faced with an unpredictable hung parliament.
On fera les choses méthodiquement, sérieusement. J'écoute tout le monde. Au moment où je suis, j'ai rencontré la plupart des présidents de groupe. Je continue et je viens visiter les députés, les sénateurs, les écouter aussi. Et la semaine prochaine, on nommera le gouvernement.
Barnier, who has served as Environment, Foreign and Agriculture Minister and was the EU's former chief Brexit negotiator, was named last week by President Emmanuel Macron as his compromise pick for head of government. With no longer even a relative majority in Parliament following his decision to dissolve the National Assembly, Macron delayed picking a Prime Minister for weeks over the summer as he tried to find someone who would not suffer an immediate no-confidence vote. The chamber is largely divided between Macron's centrist supporters, now loosely allied with Barnier's Rump Conservative Party, the left-wing NFP Alliance, and the far-right National Rally RN. NFP leaders have vowed to vote no confidence in any government not headed by them after they secured the most votes but fell well short of a majority. Meanwhile, Macron appears to have taken care to find a candidate in Barnier who does not immediately raise the hackles of the RN. Rumours are swirling in Paris about who might claim key ministries after Barnier said he was open to working with people on the left or right.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.